All right, Shalom, Yashala, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Rakah Kadash. Ka'Allah Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Rakah Kadash. Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, great millstone. Much salutation to the brothers teaching word for the hopeful elect. Soon to be the elect, Most High will. To the contrite spirits, returning back to the Most High. Sincerity, extended elect blessings. You know, this is a video about Trump's mass deportation plan. And, President-elect vows to crack down on immigration. It's another side video right here that says at least 18,000 Indian migrants to be deported by Trump. And they plan to build the wall. And this, this is what America is about. This is the wickedness of America. I mean, people that they're talking about deporting is our people. Our people, the immigrants are people, the indigenous people, whatever they want to call them. But these are the tribes. These are the curses. This is pretty much Rome all over again. We keep telling you that. This is kind of similar to what Rome was doing and Nero. And I wanted to point a couple of things out regarding that, but I'm going to play a little bit of it.
Millions of undocumented persons who would be taken to detention camps like Japanese American civilians were during World War II, and then rapidly deported.
So this is, if you want to call it that, this is one of the first approaches to the New World Order and Draconian laws, so to speak. I mean, that I know they have done similar tasks like this, but this is, it's going to have more an effect on human crisis, and as far as American citizens and personally, I think the world, what happens on one side of the earth affects the other. But anyway.
Would hit families and communities hard.
Higher deportations of immigrants would mean, unauthorized immigrant workers being taken from their workplaces. It would mean mixed status families where kids are U.S. citizens being divided across borders. It would mean communities losing valued community members who have oftentimes lived in the United States for a long time.
Trump would end the so-called catch and release policy under which asylum seekers fleeing violence or persecution in their home countries are allowed to stay in the U.S. pending their immigration court hearings. Trump plans to hire thousands more border agents and redirect military funding to border security. He says undocumented migrants are criminals and psychotics.
These are seriously sick people. And no, I don't want them in our country.
Trump wants the death penalty for undocumented aliens convicted of killing U.S. citizens, and would invoke a 1798 federal law to expel without trial suspected drug traffickers or alleged members of criminal gangs.
Yeah, this goes along with terrorism, too, a form of terrorism. Threat to the American citizens. Now, there's terrorism right here in this land. There's murderers right here in this land. There's human trafficking right here in America. So they're not going to address that, but they're going to, and this is kind of like pointing the finger. We told you that the devil the Bible speaks of, that's the false accuser, the accuser of our brethren. During the time of Nero, he blamed the Christians, like it says here in this passage of this article of history I looked up. It's the History Channel in an article form, but they have it on TV. It says whether responsibility he actually talking about Nero actually bore for the disaster. Nero deflected attention by blaming members of the fledgling Christian religion for the fire. Now that was us back then, but we've always been labeled under many terms, names, definitions, what have you. We've been labeled Christians. We've been labeled, black activists. We've been labeled as the, even some of the more ancient terms, the Jew had become a derogatory term toward us, a mockery, so to speak, you know. And they play on words, the black Jews, the black Hebrew Israelites, even today. So you have all those fashions and methods of terminology that targets us, even in a subliminal way. But we see it very clear because we in the spirit. So some were condemned to be dressed in animal skins and torn apart by dogs, while others were burned to death in nightmare pyres, if I'm saying that right, that provided light for the emperor's garden parties, man. Nero exhausted the Roman treasury, rebuilding the city around his 100-acre Domus Aurea, a golden house palace complex. It's the center of. It's the center. He commissioned a 100-foot-tall bronze statue of himself, the Colossus Neronus. Now, Trump he has that same kind of energy of, I don't know what they would want to call it, dictatorship or whatever, so to speak, in a vibration of an emperor that's into himself so much as his direct policies and take on how he wants to run his campaign, his administration, which is the Trump administration. It kind of gives that energy of like, yeah, we're gonna come in and take these people. We don't care what they think or what families we affect. We don't care if it affects American citizens, the job market, the job employment, field. We don't care. We doing this. So, and Rome, Nero led Rome into being burnt, and he's gonna, Most High, pretty much likely is gonna use Trump into America burning, with the missiles. This is the perfect guy to use to generate, generate the madness, of what do they call it? Of some type of tyranny, to stir out the American people again. To have that kind of like, yeah, we Americans, fuck everybody else, kill everybody else, burn all these countries, we don't care. And then in one of his, a lot of his campaigns, it kind of highlights security, the need of security, the necessity of security, that the Americans, they want to feel safe. This is pretty much a time of, how you have MAGA hats, Make America Great Again. This is kind of America in the reform of a victory, to where they say, well, we the most powerful country in the world, we can't be defeated, and that's what they want to put in American citizens' minds, and this comes with the New World Order, the Draconian laws. If you look it up, we all know what Draconian is. People that may not know, you could look it up, and it's like dragon-like policy, dragon-like regulation, rules and regulations, all that stuff, stipulation, whatever. And Nero's death was, so going back, and there's a thing that's called Acta Diurna. I think I'm saying that right. Acta Diurna, which goes into where a series of daily official notices in ancient Rome that were carved into stone or metal and displayed in public places. That's the modern day newspaper. The term Acta Diurna is Latin for daily proceedings. News, and the Acta Diurna were a type of early newspaper and are considered to be the prototype of modern newspapers. and you could see in the images it's carvings and stuff like that. One thing it mentioned too in this article of history page with these articles, it mentions Nero was into the Olympics and art and festivals, festivities, and all that, which they're spending millions or even trillions. I don't know if it's millions or trillions, but they're spending a great amount of money toward entertainment, in these cities. I think that's for distraction, but I think that's to get the American minds of people to feel that America is beginning to be something again. Something for themselves, families, and children. You got Walt Disney as one of the biggest what would you call it? Entertainment organizations or company, if you will. What is that other one? All these fairgrounds, Six Flags, and America is filled with entertainment. Even on these, platforms of this, with, the internet, TV, and stuff, and they're gonna change the internet, man. They're gonna make it. They're gonna make it fun, but they're gonna have they're gonna have a more security. Presence to it. They're gonna, it's gonna be like, well, you can't. It's gonna be synthesized. You can't offend anybody. You're gonna be possibly fined, possibly jailed. You can't. There's no freedom of speech, and if it is, it has to be contribution to pretty much this American political status. Contributed to the New World Order, their views. They have. It's another thing that they said that they. This woman was talking about, abortion. She said they're gonna, sign a bill into law. I think targeting women for that abort their children or seek to abort their children. Not even abort, but seek to abort their children for execution, meaning execution like injection or executed like they do in those that sentence to death. So we told you though that this is part of that Draconian law system, which goes into the New World Order. But this is going to affect a lot of families. And you see, they see Jake. They got look what they got. Jake with beards. They into imagery too.
Under temporary protected status, like the Haitian residents of Springfield, Ohio. He is accused of eating household pets.
See, he accused. Hey, those are our brothers. Those are Levites. Accused of eating household pets, and they got different pieces and particles of these accusations, and like we said, they'll gradually build a case. They'll gradually, over time, build, somewhat public evidence that these people are criminals. These people are drug dealers. These people are savages. But meanwhile, they got a whole drug system going on to where they're the only ones that got the power to move the drugs around, like it's being moved around, like by planes, by these tunnels. I mean, they got satellites and everything, but you could build a whole over the world. But you could build a whole underground landmass of tunnels that and not be seen. You know what I'm saying? Or you could, import drugs over here by plane and not be seen. So these are real devils and wicked. It's the end of the world. We keep telling you it's the end of the wicked system. It's the end of America because of these things. And they hate the prophets. They say they hate him that rebuketh in the gate. They hate the prophets. The prophets were hated, man. For speaking upright. And that's that. This is that scripture I wanted to get, and a few more scriptures. Hopefully I pull, enough scriptures for but it's just a lot to be explained, man. And I don't want to talk too much because I want to be a man of few words, like apostles always say. But it says, but I just want to, I'm drawing a picture for Israel to let them know, how this is going down. What scripture is this? So Isaiah 32:7, the instruments also of the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even with the needy. The needy speaketh right. Even when the needy speaketh right. So that needy and that poor is talking about the Israelites, the righteous men. Because, over and over again, you're going to see through history, the righteous men, a great portion of the righteous men were outcasts. That's why Moses had to say, man, I'm going to suffer with my people, because they try to make Moses a figure, give him a high seat in Egypt. And he was like, I'd rather suffer with my people, man. I'm going to step down. Same thing with Joseph. He fed his brethren during time of famine and all. Gave them corn and different, food to feed them. And Joseph was, it says Moses, he was, wise in the sight of Pharaoh. I'm pretty sure he spoke Egyptian, but he spoke Hebrew. He watched out for his Hebrew brethren. So even in the time of their labor, hard work, like it says that they served, he slew an Egyptian, but his own Hebrew brethren be like, man, are you here to kill us too? Like, and that's how Jake think when they Egyptianize, when they Americanize, even to this very day. It says the instruments are also the churl, and I wanted to look up churl. I did look up churl. I'm going to play it in the blue letter.
Strong's H 3596.
Kilai.
Kilai.
Which is
Second entry.
Kalaya. Kalaya. Kayalaya. Getting tongue-tied with the Syrian Hebrew. But scoundrel, a knave, sense of behold, niggardly. He's going to be the new niggard. You know how niggas are. It used to be used by the prophets in order to allude to the following. So, and what did the Most High said? He's going to send us enemy, against us, with fierce countenance, not caring for the old or young, a whole nation of people, but, in these dynamics of presidency and high-seated men, you're going to see that, and they have, their whole military staff, military meetings, and they have a plan to interrogate with intimidation the men of the Lord, because they're gonna try, and they allowed us to, so to speak, be out there, starting with the apostles, elders, be out there and look like we're a part of this American type of foolery or nonsense, even though they label it as something of a terrorist. You know, it's a part they try to include in American fabric. That's why they put the neo Nazis out there. That's why they show in the news the Ku Klux Klan. They want to make us a part of that fabric. Like, okay, we are, you know, we're going to take the neo Nazis down. We're going to take the Klans down. We're going to take the Israelites down. So, you know, that's how deep their thoughts is, and it says in that in the scriptures. Every one of their hearts is deep. You know, they seek out, they diligently seek out iniquities, and it's to destroy the Israelites. So, you know, they have sergeants and different soldiers and army officials, whatever you want to call them, generals that take on the part of the austere part, so to speak, the in your face, you know, cough it up, you're going down for a long time type of men, you know. So, you know, we told you that Jacob's time of Jacob's trouble is coming. This is still the year of the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, and we say hopeful year because Jacob's trouble, because hey, even if it's troubling to us or whatever they may do, it's a prophecy, and that's what they don't like, and not that they so much try. They try. It's a greater elite than these people right here. It's the banking family, Rothschild. These are their soldiers, cadets, their generals, so to speak. They're the ones that handle the military part of them, but not so much the main military. Main military is NATO and EU, but they can send officials, ambassadors. They can send spies or whatever agents even to our camps because of the threat that they pose upon us, man, which is straight from the Bible. So, anyway, that's why the Most High said we're in an army, man. It says Most High have chosen you to be a soldier. And this is the invisible war. Invisible is clearly seen through spirit, because that's what it says in Scripture. It says these things that are not seen or unseen are clearly seen by the things that are made. It says 2 Timothy 2:3, thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahweh Shai. No man that worth, and that eagerly call Christ, which is Yahweh Shai. No man that worth entangle himself with the affairs of this life. See, there's a war, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. So this is an army. It's also, the scriptures also say a Lord of hosts, a Lord of armies. So, but this is, I call it an invisible army because, people think we're just out there and angry black men, and, that we could never be compared with the army of America, which is held at a high status and required for their military might and their public appearances, regarding plans and blueprints to reconstruct things by army bases, and economic bases, which we don't have no power. I mean, we don't have any great housing. We don't have mansions and shit. We don't have we don't have a bus system. We don't have a military system where we're able to fly planes and jets and all that. So, we look like little guys. We look like pushovers. Like, yeah, they're just angry black guys, and they, we need to ban them or some way, ban this Bible that they believe in because they misinterpret it, just like vocab saying we misinterpret the Bible. But nobody's addressing these more, and not more than, it's according to prophecy, but they're not addressing things that happen in America that are just as unjust as they claim that we are. That, points out, things that people are concerned about, even American citizen, against their own government. Because it says in the scriptures too that they would not regard their own kings and princes in the government. Anarchy, So what do they call it? The other one, insurrection, I think. But let me just see that word. I'll close out, man. Insurrection, an organized and usually violent act of revolt or rebellion against an established government or governing authority of a nation, state, or other political entity by a group of citizens or subjects. Also, the act of engaging in such a revolt. Yeah, the Maccabee revolt, the Maccabeans in Apocrypha. Those are our people. The civil war that happened during the Roman Empire that caused an uproar, the fire that they blamed it on the Israelites, which they called Christians in those articles. So it's always been something like that. I think during the Julius Claudius dynasty, they had expelled 40 to 50,000 Israelites for instigating violence, so to speak. It's probably a better word for that. But yeah, we told you, and it's going to get worse, and it's going to get, and black people looking at it like, yeah, see, that's another division. Also, another tactic of divide and conquer, division between the Israelites. I'm talking about, just an average Israelite. I'm talking about the ones that know the truth, but ones that are Israelites, by bloodline. And they say, well, the blacks say, well, yeah, there's going to be more jobs for the blacks because, hey, the Mexicans are taking our jobs. That's what they want you to think, And a lot of jobs that so-called Mexicans do, which are the Israelites, that black people don't do. Like climbing tree. I mean, doing the tower stuff, the roofing, building houses, a lot of landscaping, a lot of the construction work. Jake is more like, yeah, let me do a warehouse job. Let me, see if I can, do a side hustle or something like that. So no, they ain't threatening it. It's not a threat. Jake's thing is more like hustling. Like, yeah, let me. So false narrative like always, and it's just gonna be a big ass fucking mess, man. And that's how the Most High wants it, though. To be chaotic and confusing. Most High said the deceived and deceiver is his. And the things that the Most High said, he creates evil, he creates double standards. It said a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, but, he'll keep certain people lost, certain people blinded. He'll wake up other people and have other people see, and he'll keep other people blind. So those are some, that's one thing against the other pretty much. But it's all coming from him, it's all created by him. And I'm gonna do a video, most high willing, about AI too, but hopefully this is edifying. To the next video, shalom.